Hi all. So this is the next tutorial on how to use geometry scripts in Unreal Engine and how to generate signs from point clouds. So first of all, I will give you a project called GeoScript Collection, and you would need to have installed 5.31 Unreal Engine. So 5.3 is the project I have currently in, and sometimes you might see 2 here, so download 2 is backwards compatible. So let me open the project first. So here is the project with the sign. So the idea of the sign, this one here, is that you apply it to point cloud and it has got variables. So first of all, this one is to disable script, and this is enable script. Second one, board height. So board height should be preferably over 0, because when the script is in its original relative space, which is here, and here is the script. So viewport. So in this relative space, this is a 0, 0, 0 position. It's different from the world space, which is inside here. Also want to mention how much work would it take to do it manually. So this is the manual work somebody would do in their head to generate its sign manually. So this is that, and that work. So for now, I'll close the script and explain how variables work. So you've got sign at 0, 0 point, and when you place it into point cloud, it should be always positioned. That is our point cloud, just to make sure it's the correct version of the script. And no, it's not. Oh, well, let's delete this old script. Imagine this is our point cloud of the sign. And I'll drag and drop the script. And first of all, I need to do to the top view. And I click F button to focus. I need to put this blue cube always in the top left corner of the sign. So I rotate it. So click R to rotate. That's your shortcut. Click W to position the sign exactly where it starts in top left corner. And go to perspective view. Click again to focus on the sign. And position the cube in the top left corner. Make sure it's aligned. Now we change the variables here to fit the sign. So the second variable is the width, and the third variable is the height of the board. So, oops. It goes into minus because from here we go minus to 04. Then the next we go to cable position. So cables are what I named cables is this the structures behind the sign that hold connection to the pole. So we have only one side, so to make it easier, I go to the pulse variable and put it to 1, and then it quickly generates one sign. Then let's say when we apply image, we know that there are 3 cables, but let's change the variables of the cable. Currently variables. So let's say we got 3 cables. So we put 3 cables, and we know that the first cable starts somewhere on the very top, and then spacing between cables is about that much, and the pole is circular. It's the pole variables, pole is circular. So we now have a circular pole. We know, so the pole starts somewhere here, and it's about this height. Let's say our pole is sticking out. And again, we need to change pole width to make it slimmer and fit. So this is our sign, and I would just adjust width a little bit more. And then everything fits really, really perfect into the point cloud. So again, as you could see, the sign has 3 materials already, of actually much more than 3 materials. So don't use these materials because it will crash the script. So use the materials that have names. So you would need to apply the materials that textures that we had in Photoshop to these materials to change them. Well, let's go to Photoshop and export some textures. So I go File, just Add. We click Add. Oh no, we click Import. So we go to our sign textures. Let's say this is the back of the sign. So drag, I click it, open. It's also, you could just drag and drop in here. So we generated texture, but texture is not the material yet. So the easiest way to generate basic materials in Unreal Engine is to apply texture to the object, and then it generates. And always remember, as you work in Unreal, is to save. So you could do it, save all. That saves everything, because if you click save on one object, it will save just one object, and then you lose everything else. And Control X, or just right click and save. So we have this texture applied. Our sign. Now we can go to the second material, to the blue material, which is this one, and drag and drop it in here. So now we have texture. I don't have anything at the moment to apply to this board. But the same way you would apply textures here. So about this plugin, so this modeling and LiDAR tools will not appear by default. You would need to go to Settings, Plugins, and enable plugins. Actually, if you open the scan project, these plugins would be already enabled. But if you, for some reason, migrating it, I'm just going to show what you would need to enable in any project to do similar tasks. So you go to Modeling. So Modeling is enabled. You go to LiDAR. LiDAR is enabled. And Geometry Scripts. Geometry Scripts is enabled. Geometry Script which is enabled. So once this is done, we need to delete these cubes, and this is something I forgot to write in the script, so I'll just add quickly another function. So when we complete the script, I want these cubes to be destroyed. So this object is now dynamic mesh, but I want to convert it to a static mesh, which I can then export to FBX file format. So I just quickly edit my script. So go to event graph, and I will add another step. Destroy. Destroy component. I don't want to destroy it for height. I want to destroy these 3 cubes that I use for debugging and references. And also, I don't want them just to be destroyed. I want them to be destroyed when I ask it to destroy it. So I go to if statement, if, and I create a condition, remote to variable, and I call this condition, what was my last variable? My last variable was 15, so I call 16. So v 16, and I called destroy cubes. And when this enabled, first of all, compile. No, okay, I'll compile first. Compile. And let's look at our to be able also to use it in the editor, I need to make this variable public. So I will be able to see it in the compile and save. So I've done my work on the script. Now I go back to my variable here in the end that appeared here and do this. And now we do not have cubes. And to make it static mesh, I go to modeling mode, and I go to XForm tab and click convert, accept. So, and now it has pivot point here, but probably when somebody will try to insert this sign into another software, we want this pivot point to be at the bottom, center bottom. So how do I change it? I go to edit pivot, and edit pivot has option. We call it center and then bottom, and accept. So now we have the sign at the correct pivot point as a static mesh, and we want to export it. So we go to File. No, we're not going to File. We're going to where this object is set, because this place is in the world, and I want to know where this object is in a folder saved. So I go to Browse to Asset, I click Save, and I set Actions, Export, and it has the name that we generated it, but ideally I wanted to have the name of the sign. So why don't we go to Export Sign Textures, and it doesn't show us all the names. I will figure out in the next tutorial how to get the old name of the sign, but let's say it would be test sign. It's a test sign 001, and we export it to folder extract sign meshes A11, and we create new folder meshes. And save. Export. Also, sometimes what we get is not the signs. We get something called like digital objects, or something would be attached to the sign. So I'm going to show something else, how to just generate this object. So to do that, we go to LiDAR, and we go to marquee selection. We select our sign and create static mesh. And we will generate static mesh. Static mesh. New folder plus code. And we call this test sign 001 and save. It's not a really great mesh, but it's probably the best that we get out there with the data resolution, with the point cloud resolution that we get in the data set. Okay, I think this is all for now.